Hello, it's Ricardo and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. Well, by now the Trailblazers update has happened. We now have System Colonisation, and for those commanders who have been eagerly awaiting the Mandalay, it's now available in shipyards for money. So as we enter this period of a beta for System Colonisation, I think it's very important to say what the beta actually is. They've said quite blatantly it's a complete feature. There you go. All the actions and resource payments you make will not be refunded. They're going to monitor all the data and then tweak it and make adjustments. All good stuff. Now, that's what it is. It's a complete feature. So, rest assured, this is what we're going to get. Now, what it isn't, it's not a work in progress. There's not going to be any progress wipes, like what you get from other games. And you all know the games are what I'm meaning. And there will be no resource refunds. They want to let us get in there, let us play, and then tweak it if anything seems to be a bit too grindy. I think that the entire impression of this is that they want us to enjoy the entire experience. So there are lots of questions, but fortunately we do have lots of answers. And one of the first things people have asked that, do you need Elite Dangerous Odyssey to access the new content in Trailblazers update? Well, they've stated that all players who own a copy of Elite Dangerous on PC, sorry console players, and are playing in live mode will have access to System Colonisation. Now, regardless of whether you own a copy of Elite Dangerous Odyssey, so that's okay, all on-foot content requires players to own a copy of Elite Dangerous Odyssey. And here's the thing. Right? I get it, there can be console players out there who are going to be having a right old moan. And I get it, and our hearts go out to you. However, it's been several years now since console development has been stopped. I know it's a pain that never ends, but this is for PC only. Now you commanders who are rocking around with the base game of Elite Dangerous, effectively Elite Dangerous Horizons, version 4.0, whatever, and haven't made the spring for Odyssey, your reasons are your own. However, I've had it running perfectly fine on a GTX 1050. Some people have had it working on 770 cards. If you love the game, it might be worthwhile making an investment. That's all I'm saying. Now, in the context of the Trailblazers update and System Colonisation, what does beta mean? Well, Frontier have been quite good to provide a good definition for this. In regards to System Colonisation, it's a full new feature, which will impact a variety of existing game features. Alright? And they're launching it as a beta to get as much telemetry and information and analytics back off us, the player community, which is great. You have not got to opt into this beta, it's part of the full game. Get involved or not get involved, it's completely up to you. What they have said as well, that during this window of a beta, there'll be hot fixes and tweaks, probably a little bit like what we saw with Power Play, where things were tweaked over a couple of weeks with all the information that was coming in. Nothing to be worried about is what they're saying, and they're certainly not going to go through refunding people any resources or in-game credits. Here's another good one. Will beta progress carry over? Now, typically for other beta implementations, there's been a live server running and then you've had a beta server. This is not the case. This is running on the live mode servers and is available from day one for all players to explore. Apart from console players, I know what you knew what you were thinking. You knew what you were thinking. PC only. And the reason they've done this is that they're going to be monitoring the progress and all the rest of it. And as it's a live mode server we're playing on, like these servers, there's no carryover. It'll just continue as is with hot fixes and tweaks being applied to make it perhaps the best experience that it can be. Now on to the game flow. So how do you claim a star system? Well, us commanders can start our journey to expand that bubble by accessing the new System Colonisation contact at a station within an inhabited system. This will allow you to use a version of the galaxy map to select a nearby unpopulated star system and register your desire to claim it. So you've got to get to a star system, get to the contact, get to the special map, and then decide which one you're gonna have, right? Now here's the key thing. First of all, they started off and they said, when they first announced this in 2024, it's going to be 10 light years. They've now changed that to 16 light years radius max. Now, the system has to be uninhabited. Meaning, yes, there could be fleet carriers in there, but no stations, completely clear. If you can find such a system, then by all means, you can crack on and attempt to claim it. So once you've found your system and you want to claim it, how long do you have to deploy the beacon, the colonization beacon, in the system that you've selected once you've registered your claim? Well, you have 24 hours to get to that system and deploy that beacon. Now, if this beacon is not deployed within 24 hours, the claim fails and the colonization beacon must be purchased again. Players can attempt to claim the system again unless this is the second time they have failed or cancelled the claim. If you have failed twice, then you'll have to wait a period of time that may be tweaked, currently set around about 3 days before you can make another attempt. Here's another classic one. Can you claim multiple systems at the same time? No. The only way you can be doing this if you're running multiple accounts, and each individual account can only have one claim running at any one time. So if that's your bag, then by all means, that's your bag. Get your multiple alt accounts out and get claiming. Although you will find yourself running from joystick to joystick, from instance to instance. So can you claim multiple systems? The answer is no. Now you've found your system, you've got your beacon, you've gone in there and you've deployed it within 24 hours. But what's the deadline for completing a system colonization attempt? Well, as soon as you deploy that beacon, you need to get your primary port complete within 4 weeks. So the whole process of claiming the system to getting that primary port in the system complete is 4 weeks and 1 day. Of course, you've got 24 hours to get that beacon deployed, and then you've got a maximum then, once it's deployed, of 4 weeks to get that commodities and all those other things delivered to get that primary port situated. Now here's the thing, if you don't complete it within 4 weeks, you as the commander, your claim on that system will then be revoked and then open to other players, and any delivered commodities will be lost. So if this is the second time you've attempted this, you as the commander, if you fail to complete that system colonization within the 4 weeks and 1 day, then you'll be locked out of making another claim attempt for that system for 3 days. So, quite complicated. The important message here is get your beacon deployed as quickly as possible, and then, hey, do you know what I mean? You can get in there, deliver all your materials, and get that primary port set up. So you've got your system, deployed your beacon, you delivered all your materials. Can you then name the facilities that are in your system as system architect? Well, the answer to this is yes, but... And here's the key thing. The key thing. Primary ports need to be completed before they can be renamed via the system map. The facilities will use a randomly generated name using the existing Elite Dangerous naming system. However, a new random name can be generated for free and changed 5 times, if you don't like what Frontier have given you. However, and here's the cunning bit, arcs are coming into it now. Players can use arcs to unlock custom namings of facilities with infinite renames available. So Ricardos Bourgeois is going to be perhaps the key thing that I'm going to rename my first port at. What will you be naming yours? Spaceports will update their names every Thursday. All other facilities will do so the next time the player enters that location. So interesting stuff. Frontier are going to make so much money. Now, Frontier have said a colonization beacon is going to set you back initially, and at the time of making this video, upon release, 25 million credits. It is but a drop in the ocean when you consider that if you're going through power play, I'm regularly getting 50 million credits just by not even grinding it and just doing some of my weeklies. A very achievable set of credits there. I think a lot of people thought it was going to be an awful lot more, perhaps even, by a factor of 10. I myself thought it might have been 100 million credits. But 25 million credits is what they've set it at the moment. So, there you go. That beacon will cost you 25 million credits. And like I say, this I think has made it accessible for all commanders, even new commanders. It's not like it used to be with credits in the game. You were grinding and grinding and grinding and grinding. Oh no, you can make a hell of a lot of money really quickly. So how many construction efforts in system can you run simultaneously? Well, initially, commanders can run 5 construction efforts simultaneously in one system. However, this can increase up to a maximum of 15. And construction efforts don't expire, like what the actual establishment of the system does. So what I mean by that, well, you've got 24 hours to get your beacon in place, or you lose it. Or once you've put your beacon in place, you've got 4 weeks from the placement of the beacon to get the primary port established, or you lose it. You can leave these construction efforts of the buildings on the planets and what have you, those bases, in whatever state you wish. You can complete them or you not. I mean, just think about it. You can start racing around incomplete system bases. Just think about that. Shipping containers everywhere, all a bit haphazard. It'd be great to have some SRV racing around there, and it'll look cool. Plus, once you've got the primary port, you can move on to another system and just go back to systems as and when. So what's the point of getting involved in system colonization? Well, as the system architect of a system, you can amass rewards. You'll receive a regular credit payment from each system under your direction, which is derived by the number and scale of facilities constructed in the systems. These payments will be issued each week and can be redeemed by visiting an administration contact. Cool, you're going to get credits. As commanders grow their network of accumulated system colonies and the weekly payment values increase, a galactic levy. There's always the taxman, isn't there? Is it going to be Rachel from accounts, I wonder? Any credits earned over 5 million will have a levy placed on them, and that hasn't yet been communicated to us. But be sure you won't be earning too much money anyway. So 5 million in order to support mass infrastructure maintenance throughout the galaxy, and that's the thing. So you are going to get an income from all your hard work, which is cool, isn't it? In addition to this, players will also receive a small discount to ships and outfitting when purchased in a system with 10 or more facilities, which is really good. So this is some of the information that we have so far from Frontier in regards to system colonization and the Trailblazer update. Are you surprised by any of this? I was surprised with the cost of the beacon. I thought it was going to be a hell of a lot more. I was also pleasantly surprised to see that you'll be able to amass rewards from the systems under your domain. Anything any of you don't like about this? Don't mention the consoles. We've discussed it. We've discussed this. Anyway, PC commanders, will you go out and buy a copy of Odyssey? Are you looking forward to this? Because it's going to be with us. It's going to be part of the game for the foreseeable. And be a bit patient with Frontier. They're going to be tweaking it all up based on feedback. Anyway, let me know what you think. I've been Ricardo. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you soon.